Hello, hello, hello. I don't know what's up with the lighting lately. It has this really strong orange glow. Anybody else notice that? I don't know. Maybe it's been this way all along. Maybe I've just noticed it. That could be a thing. And we are talking about the week of April 6th and the following 7 days. Bam! There we are. This is a week of interesting energy. We've got Uranus and Mars and Neptune front and center here. Uranus, known as the awakener, known as the disruptor. Shocks and surprises. This can be an authority figure in somebody's life, can be friends and group energy, but we can't forget technology. Technology is important with that. The next is Mars. Mars can be a shit starter, can be somebody who's always itching, always ready to rumble. That's Mars energy. It is described often as being very passionate. Mars wants to be first. Mars wants to strike out first. Some even say, if you ever listen to interviews with Mike Tyson, great fighting energy, fighters, soldiers, obviously. But he would always say the fighting was because he was so afraid. He was so afraid. It was fear. And so getting in the ring and, well, letting the Mars kind of express and do its thing with its body, with its hands, was how he was able to channel the fear. Some would say anger, absolutely. But I guess at the base of the anger and the frustration must be fear. I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. You tell me. Um, and then you have Neptune. Neptune, the grand illusion, illusions and delusions. But it also speaks of faith and oneness, understanding, unity, surrender, raising a white flag. God, we're all hoping and praying when that day comes. Hopefully, it'll be sooner rather than later. And so these are some interesting combinations that we're going to focus on, but let's start at the very beginning. Venus and Ceres, Ceres. The Ceres is the food, right? This is our creature comforts. It's strong earth energy. It's how we feel nurtured. Some say that that's very similar to moon energy, feminine energy, but how we nurture, and we usually nurture ourselves. How? But in Taurus, absolutely all about food and even sweet tooth. Venus is known to be in the garden, just sitting there with a big bowl of grapes or a nice glass of wine, maybe a box of chocolates. I think I kind of ended the last video on that note. And they're both at 8 degrees at the beginning of this week, right at 8. This is an intense energy, very intense. And this matters because we want to know it's intense energy, but over what? About what? About what I value, about who I value. So this can be love, money, banking, farming. So the Taurus energy and being very zoned in more than usual about desires and desirable things and people. For this week, before I go further, I want to make just a quick statement here for cardinal signs. Aries is the first cardinal sign. Then we go to Cancer energy. Then we go to Libra. And then it ends with with Capricorn. So those are your 4 cardinal signs. And because of some of these movements, we're going to feel additional stress. I mean, for some of you, having objects at certain points and degrees will be a big deal, especially because look at the Aries energy on the chart. So there's a ton here, like Neptune. And it's at 2 degrees, which is important. Remember, we just talked about Venus. 2 degrees, that's Venus energy. This is why what we're fighting for, what we're fighting about is going to be, this will definitely be part of Neptune's story. And then we have the sun, an authority figure. So this is 1 authority figure, 2 authority figures. Number 3 authority figure, Neptune, which these would be people of extreme This is like royalty, Neptune energy, the elite Neptune, very elite energy. But what's happening this week is that this Mars energy is going to make a move. By the 7th through the 9th, we have Mars at the critical degree. 28 degrees would be the public. 28 degrees is the public. So that's on the 7th, the very next day, tomorrow. 28 degrees. Feelings, emotions. This is moon energy. Family, feminine energy. And then we'll have 7th, and then we'll have the 8th and the 9th. Mars will be, 29 degrees, very critical degree, that billionaire degree kind of energy. And again, public figures will be prominent. The people, for us anyway, in the States who are in Congress members. So what happens after that? After that, Mars makes a move. Mars is going to enter Aries energy. Very bold. It's very in the face. It's very, I am not hiding. I am out front, actually. I'm out front. This is where there's a new beginning. So this tells us there will be a new face or some sort of a new phase or a new leader in terms of fighting and that war energy. Interestingly enough, when Mars enters Aries, it'll be close to Neptune, won't it? Yeah, Neptune's at 2 degrees. That will be a time where, is it possible there's a white flag being raised or there's an agreement of some sort? It's possible. But what about in your life? It's the same thing, folks. It's the same thing. If you've got objects at these degrees, okay? If you got something in the early degrees of Aries, 0 to 2 degrees, even 0 to 3 degrees, changing up our appearance. Our physical body is going to look different. Let's get to the reality point here. And this is part of that, and that's the nodes. They are still at 8 degrees for this week. They will be at 8 degrees for this week. So remember now, this big change, we're feeling it by the weekend. And it's possible that we're hearing rumblings and maybe something even more sustaining once this flips to 7. But this is not happening this week. That's another week away. So learning how to compromise, learning that we're all going to be a little bit even more fired up than usual. And hopefully the Mars and the Aries energy can be, if anything, a little bit more of a dose of optimism. But remember, with Mars energy, I might need more time alone. I might need to engage in more physical activities that may demand that I do them alone, because I might find it more satisfying because everybody else is too damn slow, or I want to be the leader of the pack and there's nobody will follow me. Like, there can be a lot of things because it's highly combative typically. Go out for a walk, go dig some damn holes, go do something to get that feisty stuff a place where it can express safely. We got Uranus. It's already at 29, but it's like exactly at 29. Disruptions, big money. It is technology, can be digital. So of course we think of all the, digital currencies and Bitcoin. And there is a sextile this week, starting Monday all the way to the 9th with Mars and Uranus energy. So this is strong energy as far as taking action when it's in connection with Uranian energy. Normally, this mixture between these two, we always got to tell ourselves to slow down, to step back, to think a little bit more, to force myself to think it through and say, I need to sleep on it if you have to. But it does scream exciting and new. Let's take action. New, exciting. Uranus, of course, is a tad bit rebellious. We also have on the chart the galactic center. This is ruled by Jupiter energy. Jupiter, the beliefs about my future, beliefs about justice and freedom and truth. I am able to separate my emotions. I am able to separate my religious beliefs and just look at the facts. And so this Sagittarius, this Jupiter, this galactic center, this need for truth and justice is strong. And it is a nice trine, Chiron and Eris, 25, 26, getting very close to the bells of justice, the bells of truth. So let's, yeah, I'm staying hopeful. Let's see what happens. Pluto and Juno, partnerships. Pluto's going to be making big changes with group energy and with technology and with social systems, big systems, global systems. Okay. Friends, streaming, energy, power, electricity, science, space, all that stuff. The partnerships are getting closer. By this week, Juno gets to 3 degrees. So we're probably going to see more changes within partnerships, and they're starting to look more solid, or what looked solid might look a little fantastical even, because if you look closely, this is Juno in a sextile talking directly with Neptune, institutional energy, but it is foreigners, foreign lands, foreign countries, foreign languages. All right. Foreigners and unlikely, very different partnerships. And we've been seeing a lot about that happening. Been seeing a lot of the, you know, since the United States has decided to go rogue on the whole world, um, other countries have said, hey, we got to make a deal. We got to work with each other. People at the table having very serious talks with other countries, with other individuals they never would have considered before. Mercury is going to get to 22, and there should be a little bit more clarity on what's really going on, or at least a change in the information that we previously had, because there was information missing. Next week, we'll be moving from 8 to 7 degrees. 8 to 7 next week. All right, so that's where we'll pick up next week. I got a cat. Time to go eat. Take care. Bye-bye. I hope this is recording. Is this recording, Zoe? What do you think? Are you ready to eat? Between 16 to 23 degrees, stress and tension with Cancer and Cappy energy.